Welcome back to Briggs on Books, which has grown into an international talk show because COVID and everything made us learn Zoom. Now we're talking to authors yesterday, one from Spain, one from Canada, one from South Africa. And today we're going to talk to a couple of authors who collaborated on a book, and they're all over. I think let's start with Chad. It's Chad and... how do you say your last name, Chad?
Hanstedt.
Chad Hanstedt and Kathy Sparrow. Where are you, Kathy?
I'm in L.A.
In L.A., okay. By the way, our first interview ever with two authors in two locations all at once. Now, this book, it's a children's book. There's two of them, by the way. And let's just start. Chad, tell us how this all came about.
It's kind of one of those creative entities that I've always wanted to do. Years ago, though, there was always a mystery to writing a book and how do you publish it. But I think with technology and information these days, it seemed doable. So it's something that I always wanted to do. I had a concept. For me, I like dealing with real things. So I have a passion for Jeeps, and why not my dog? And I thought put the two together and create kind of a fun book for kids. I'm also a parent, and I've also enjoyed reading books to my kids when they were little. There was always that bond when you're reading. So I thought that'd be kind of great.
Now, let me get this straight. Your Jeep is called Stanky.
That's correct.
And Cece is your dog.
She's the dog, yeah. Okay. So they're here today. So if you hear some barking, it's probably Cece.
Oh. and then how did Kathy get involved in this project?
So that was part of the process where I realized I could not tackle this adventure by myself. So I tried to seek out a team to put together, and just from some mutual connections, Kathy and I got together. And so that's kind of the whole with this project, is putting the team together. And I think that's why it's a success, is that we've got different individuals, different mindsets, and we all work together very well. Ironically, we've never been in the same room together.
Oh, my goodness. By the way, I love to, I learn something every day on this show. I talk to authors all over the world, and Kathy Sparrow's great to work with because she sent me this mound of papers, and I had no idea how many. You have a whole giant team involved, illustrators, translators, two authors. That's a pretty big team.
Yeah, I realized I couldn't tackle this on my own. I'm not well versed in in the writing, book creation, and publishing process. So I knew I had to put together a good team. And
now this is a kid's book. I assume there's some kind of lesson there. What do you want parents to take away from this, or help have their kids understand?
Yeah, so it's rooted in some values that trying to teach kids, and it's easy to convey that with a Jeep and a dog. So we do have some lessons. Each book has a different theme. One of the things we did at the end of the book is to engage. A lot of times parents will read the book and it's just that, but on the last page of the book, we actually have questions to kind of engage the parent-child so that they can talk and connect with what happened in the book. So
what ages are you targeting with this book?
I think it's like a 4 to 6 plus. Is that what we're calling it?
Yeah, it's called preschool plus. So even 3-year-olds are gaining a lot from it. And just yesterday, I was told a story by a friend who's she bought the book for her nephews, and the mom told her at a recent family gathering that they are using this book as a way to remind their sons to take responsibility. And they were doing the typical blame game. He did it. And the mom said, well, what would Flatbed Fred say? And Flatbed Fred's one of the characters, the grandpa in the book. He's that was heartwarming to see how it's making a big effect. Not only for kids to have fun, but for parents to use it as a teaching tool.
Yeah. I'm glad Chad said, yeah, 3-year-old even. Yeah, start reading to your kids at 3 years old, and by the time they're 4 and 5, they're going to be reading that book because they start recognizing the words and things like that. I just want to say this is that, and by the way, I think Kathy's going to give us a chance, maybe a few people, to get a free, what do you call the Kindle?
Right. Yes, a free for the first 10 who DM us direct messages on our Stanky and Cece Instagram account. We'll send the free Kindle.
Get a free Kindle. Now, we'll repeat that at the very end for our viewers. But I found that this is what I was doing when my kids were growing up. Is I don't know how I came upon it, but when I find a book I like, I'd buy 5 of them. And I encourage our viewers, go order this book, order 5 of them, because your kid's going to be going to birthday parties and you're going to be going to baby showers and different things. And it's great to take a book and use it as your host gift or the baby gift or a birthday party gift. And this sounds like this would be a good one for that.
It's also great for the classroom. My granddaughters take a book to their new classroom every new school year. In fact, this book is in Spanish, as both books are in Spanish as well, and they're in a Spanish immersion school, so they take it to school and they read it. And another a niece of mine took it to school in Colorado, and they were to paint a pumpkin out of a character from a favorite book. She took Stanky and Cece Break the Rules and painted Cece on a pumpkin. So that's new news from yesterday. It's really heartwarming.
That is fun. What an honor to have your book memorialized on a pumpkin. But yeah, so I was saying, order 5 copies. Now we got to order 6 or 7 because we're going to give our books to our teachers, to the classroom, donate it to the classroom. Chad, did you visualize what you wanted the Jeep and the dog to look like, or was that all on the artist?
It was a collaboration. So initially, I had a vision of what things would look like, and I have I have one copy of my own that I did the illustration myself, and it's horrible. It's actually terrible. But I worked with the illustrator James, and what was kind of interesting is as it evolved, James came up with a great character for Stanky. But it didn't match Stanky in real life, so I actually tore the Jeep apart and make Stanky match the book. So I'm pretty mechanical, so I did a tear down and rebuild, and now the book matches the Jeep in real life. So
real life, yeah.
I've taken the Jeep to parades and car shows and stuff like that, so it's around town. You might see me out driving it around.
Yeah, you talk in your bio, or somebody sent me a bio, and you do metal fabrication, which I'm sure helped with that. But you play guitars, you off-road vehicles, all these kinds of things. But is your day job some kind of engineer?
Yeah, I'm an aerospace engineer. So a lot of technical stuff there. So this is kind of the complete opposite of that. Engineering is very disciplined, very structured. The book, we tried to do something more fun. So for me personally.
Have we heard the last of this series?
No. No, we have a couple things in store, but I think the series will continue along. We have some ideas for more books. It's kind of, we've got plans.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got plenty of plans. We actually have a list of 44 ideas.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It never ends, does it? It's funny, or not funny, but interesting is once you get, Chad, once you said about the problems you were facing, like what are you going to do? How are you going to structure it? How are you going to get it published? But once you get 1 or 2 going, it's got to go a lot easier.
Yeah. The second book was, the process was a lot, because we knew everybody's expectations and how everybody works together. So the second one was much easier than the first one. We were just trying to get ourselves grounded. But the reality is both books were pretty easy to write because they're kind of fun.
Yeah.
So it was a fun project. So it was a good time. So
very good. Now, Kathy, I know you help authors in a lot of ways. Can you just touch on that a little bit? And then I want to talk about how people could get the free Kindle version too.
Sure. Yeah. I'm a literary midwife. I help people give births to their book ideas. So I either co-write, like I have with Chad, or I coach people through the writing process, or sometimes I just do a complete ghostwrite where interview people and then turn their words into their book. So I get to play in words all day long, which is fun.
I'm going to put the covers of these books on the screen. Tell our viewers what to do to get a free Kindle version.
So they can direct message us on the Instagram account, which is Stanky Cece Adventures. And so let me just make sure I said that right. I believe that is, and then we can put it on the screen.
Yeah, we'll have it on the screen for our viewers.
Good. Yeah,
They're probably going to see this on YouTube and Facebook, all kinds of different platforms. It'll say right there. In fact, we'll try to do it so they can just click and go right to it and order a copy of that. Well, thanks, Chad and Kathy. Any last thoughts? I know we've gone way over time, but rarely do we get somebody this prepared and this interesting to put on our show, so we really appreciate that.
We really
thank
appreciate
you.
you.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
All righty.
And we can find out more about Stanky and Cece on our website, stankyandcece.com, and there's a free download of a coloring book there, too.
Oh, wow.
Coloring page, not a book, but a page.
What a nice extra bonus for that book. All right, Chad and Kathy, Chad Hanstedt and Kathy Sparrow, thank you guys so much for coming on the show. And we'll have you on again. I want to hear more about the books and the process and what's coming up with you guys. We'll be back with more Briggs on Books right after this.